It's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. I am in mainland Spain. It is just after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So, por la tarde, as we say in Spain, is just about coming out of midday. Spain will be waking up again. You know, we have this little bit of time between 2 and 4 where people are not on, when I say on siesta, they're not necessarily sleeping, but they're having a little break, a little recharge of batteries, the hottest time of the day. Anyway, I've been cooking cottage pie for tonight for the England final. And oh my God, it's been a funny old day because, of course, it's all been about Donald Trump, hasn't it? There's been so much all over the news. You know, I'm a bit of a news junkie, but today I was hoping to see a little bit more sort of excitement and build up for the England match, you know, because this is like a big thing for English fans. First time we've reached a final on foreign soil ever. You know, it's been bloody 1966 the last time we won a tournament. You know, it's a big thing for English people if you like football, and you know, football is important to people, and whatever you think, whether you think it's right or wrong, it's exciting, people enjoy it, and there's nothing better than progressing through a tournament and getting into the final. So I've been looking a lot for that, but it's all been Donald Trump, which of course is a big thing. Don't get me wrong. I mean, this assassination attempt on Donald Trump is a massive thing in American history and world history, really. You know, there's iconic photos coming out of him with blood, you know, coming down his face. And of course, he's turned it to his own dramatic advantage by punching the air and shouting, fight, fight, you know. And then in the meantime, somebody has been killed, and 2 people, I think, are in grave conditions. To, you know, people that were at the rally. A young man of 20 years old has been shot by the Secret Service because he was the perpetrator. That's his family, you know, going through hell, I would imagine. What led him to do it? You know, there's so many more things to come out about the whole thing. Now, some of you were with me in the middle of the night when I woke up, and we, you know, I was right there sort of talking about it. We were all talking about it through the night, and, you know, I know a lot of you have got your own different theories on. Some people think it was staged, which I don't. Some people think Joe Biden paid for it. You know, I don't think that either. But one thing that I do think is Donald Trump, he will turn it to his advantage. And I do think it will add to this feeling of him being a martyr. You know, not only is he sort of was robbed an election, as he said, and not only was he, you know, wrongly convicted, as he said, but now he's been, you know, someone's tried to kill him. So he's going to play on that as much as he can, of course. So what I just want to look at first is Joe Biden's response. And Joe Biden was quite lucid. He came on and he didn't get anybody's name wrong. And he made his comments, and we're going to look at his comments. Oh, I just want to say thank you. Sorry, I've forgotten, I've left the banner up there. Thank you to everyone for watching, subscribing. Please think about subscribing if you haven't already, and think about joining my channel. Becoming a member of my channel is only $1.99 a month for the Let's Chat membership, or $4.99 for the Carry On Chatting membership. You get 1 or 2 exclusive members lives a week, not a month, but a week. So, and you get to use these special members emojis, but also, you know, you get to obviously support my channel, which is really great. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who's joined already or upgraded their membership. Also, thank you to anyone who's bought me a coffee, sent me a super. Now, I've had a lot of emails lately, lots and lots of emails. I'm very grateful for any email you send me. I'm not always able to reply, or not quickly, or it might be a hasty reply. I hope they don't come over as being abrupt, but just sometimes I have so many to reply to. I'm sort of trying to give a reply. I'm trying to concentrate on my members' emails more than anything. You know, it may eventually come to a point where I can only answer to members, but I've got to sort of think about all that. But I do appreciate your emails, and especially people point me towards stories, articles, videos that I might find interesting or useful on my channel. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate every nice comment you've ever left me, every little bit you've done to support my channel. I honestly appreciate every minute. Okay, so let's say hello to people now. So before we go further, I'm going to say hello to people that are in the chat already. I might not get, you know, especially the Jay Slater videos tend to get quite a lot of viewers. So I might not get a chance to say hello to everybody as we go on, but I'm going to say hello to everyone who's here so far. And then I cannot promise new people coming in, I may not have a chance to say hello. Remember to be respectful to each other. You're all entitled to give your views. Don't attack other people though, and you have to appreciate other people may have a different view to you. So don't attack them for that, including me. You know, we've all got our views. We're all entitled to express them, but we're not entitled to attack other people because we, you know, their view is different from ours. So we're going to be respectful like that. So that's the only thing I would, otherwise, you know, I haven't really got time to mess about with people. So if people are not respectful, I will have to remove you, you know, put you in timeout and eventually remove you. Now, I know my regular chatters, I won't have to do that because they don't do things like that. They give their views, they just ignore people or just scroll on down from people who don't agree with them, or they say, you know, it's not difficult to say, oh, well, I don't agree with you, but appreciate what you're saying. You know, it's not difficult to say that, is it? Okay, hi, David. Hi, Heather. Hi, Mia. Hi, Chumba. Hi, Katrine. Hi, Maria. Hi, KW. Oh, I'll be cheering for England. I don't want Spain to win. Oh, because that's the other thing that's going on today. So I'm sat here. I've got the Wimbledon final on the telly that I'm keeping an eye on. Alcaraz, of course, he's going to set up so far. I want Alcaraz to win, and then Spain won't be so disappointed when England win. I do not want Spain to win the Euros. It would be awful for me because I would, you know, Spanish friends that I've got to be unbearable. I just couldn't stand it. No, I want UK to win, of course. Hi, Catherine Birdwalker. Hi, Teresa. Hope you're okay. Hi, Chell. Hi, Fragaria. Okay, so that's the people that are in the chat so far. If you're not in the chat, you prefer to just watch at home, that's great. Hello to you. Thank you so much for being here as well. So I want to have a look at what Joe Biden had to say, because the more I think about what Joe Biden had to say, although he didn't get anyone's name wrong, and I appreciate that he didn't get anyone's name wrong, it's actually a bit silly what he said because it's not true. Anyway, let's have a look at Joe Biden's statement. Let me find it. As you can imagine, I've got so many windows open at the moment. I can't wait to get them closed off. Anyway, this was his remarks after the, you know, after he'd been briefed properly, he came out and spoke.
Thanks for coming, folks. I've been thoroughly briefed by all the agencies in the federal government as to the situation, based on what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. They apparently he's.
So suddenly he's Donald, you know, they're like best friends now. And I've been thinking about this. The people that are responsible for all this animosity in American politics and, you know, in other politics across the world, all this rhetoric, all this nastiness, you know, as much as I feel for President Trump or ex-President Trump, I wouldn't want anyone to be shot. But you know what? He has been hoisted by his own petard. He has been very aggressive in his own comments. And even Joe, even Sleepy Joe, he's made aggressive comments. It's all been, I know they've got an election coming up, and elections always get a bit messy, don't they? And people get a bit nasty. But really, maybe they shouldn't, because the politicians, people sit at home and they watch politicians speak, and people act out how the politicians, you know, especially in these times when it's all so tribal, it's like, you know, it just seems like debate has gone out the window, and it's all either you agree with me or you're an idiot. You know, that's what we're trying not to do on my channel, isn't it? Is just appreciate that other people have different views. You might think they're an idiot privately, but you know what? You don't come on YouTube to tell them that. Let them have their own thoughts. That's what free speech is all about. But there's a lot of animosity, isn't there? Not only from Joe, and I'm going to show some of the things that ex-President Trump has had to say in the past. You know, you say these things, wind everyone up and get everyone hating each other. And then, you know, you cannot be surprised then when somebody tries to kill you because of your thoughts or whatever. You know, just let's calm down with politics and appreciate other people have different views. And we've all got something to offer. You know, if you had a unity type politics, because there are some things that Donald Trump, I agree with Donald Trump on. I don't agree with him with everything. Same as I don't agree with Joe Biden on everything. And I'm sure those of you out there, you watch my videos, you don't always agree with me. But does that mean then you don't agree with me with one thing? That means, oh, you know, that's it. I'm never watching you again. You cannot agree with everything somebody says. Isn't it better to have some unity, especially when it comes to crisis? I do think we found it a little bit during COVID. Maybe, you know, it seemed like the world was all together, wasn't it? And then as soon as sort of the threat of COVID receded, everyone's hating each other again. It's bloody ridiculous. We're all in this world together. We're all on this journey, whatever it is, together. None of us are getting out of it alive, but we're trying to get through it the best way we can.
He's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. We save all that for the wars that we have and the children that we kill in Gaza, etc. You know, there's no place in America for this sort of violence. But of course, there's a lot of violence in America, not by immigrants like this guy who's tried to kill President Trump. Thank God he wasn't an immigrant. Could you imagine if he was an immigrant, the fuss that it would be like? Oh God, it's all immigrants' fault. You know, and he's not. He's an American boy, you know, a boy as well, 20 years old. You know, badness exists in every walk of life. It's not only immigrants. Immigrants do bad things, but so do Americans, so do British people, so any nationality. There is no sort of typical twonk. You know, there are all different kinds of twonks. So what he's saying here is, oh, you know, there's no room for violence in America, as if there's never any violence in America. You know, it is a bit, the more I watch him and Donald Trump, the more I think, hang on a minute, you know, politicians have the responsibility to not incite people to violence. And of course, Donald Trump has done that.
Not allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And so, and I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that The people and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all.
Thank you, Gem in the Mud, for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm putting my hands together like in a prayer, but of course I've just remembered you can't see me because I'm on the avatar. But honestly, thank you. I really appreciate that. Now, of course, when Joe Biden gave this statement, he didn't have all the information. He didn't know the name of the guy who'd done it. You know, there was very sketchy information. He came out, made his statement. He was actually, you know, sort of not on holiday, but he was on his weekend break. You know, he's not a 24 hours. He does have to relax sometimes. And he came out of that to give this statement, and he seemed like very sort of lively and aware, you know, because he probably wasn't as tired as he. When Joe Biden makes gaffes, it's normally because he's really tired, exhausted probably.
But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I am able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. But so far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that there's thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do. Okay?
Mr. President, do you think there was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough to. I have.
There you go, one of those stupid questions from the reporters. Do you think this was an assassination attempt? Well, seems pretty obvious it was an assassination attempt. But something Joe said, which I might have missed. Hang on, let's have another. Just go back a little bit.
To Donald, I'll let you know that as well. You all.
Sorry.
But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate.
So it's unheard of, he said. It's unheard of that we could have political violence like this. What are you talking about? We're going right back to Abraham Lincoln. Presidents, I think there's been 5 presidents that have been assassinated or assassination attempts. What is he talking about? It's unheard of. It's not unheard of. It's frequent. You know, it really is frequent. And if you take away the fact of politics, if you talk about shootings in general, like mass shootings, they're common. Every day, practically, there's some sort of a shooting incident. So I don't know where he's getting off by saying it's unheard of. You know, literally, it could go back to Abraham Lincoln, when was it? He was assassinated in 1865. Let's have a look at Abraham Lincoln. You know, so it's not unheard of. That was the first one. We're going to have a look at some of the others. He was the 16th president of the United States, and wasn't he assassinated while he was sat in a theatre or something? So, you know, it is not unheard of, Joe, is it? You know, it's not though, is it? You know, and Joe's lucky that it's not happened to him, to be honest, because it seems to happen on a regular basis.
And everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I am able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. But so far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that there's thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak.
Yeah, and something that I have found quite irritating today on the news is it's all been about Trump. Oh, thank God Trump's okay, which, you know, I'm glad he's okay as well. I wouldn't wish anybody to be murdered like that. But, you know, what about the poor person in the audience who was murdered in front of their family? I think there's been not enough said about them. I don't think we've had a name or an identity for them. But it's all been, of course, about Trump. But, you know, Trump, at the end of the day, he puts himself up there. These people, they were just at his rally supporting him. And because he moved his head out of the way, they've died instead, really, basically. That's almost what's happened. Donald Trump, I know some people think it was all staged. I don't think it was staged. I think if you watch Donald, he's genuinely surprised. We will watch it in a minute again. I've seen it so many times today, but he was genuine, in my opinion. It was a genuine assassination attempt. The only thing that I do find strange is, you know, how that young lad, he was, you know, up on the, not seen, going up on the roof and taking aim at aim at Donald. Was he, you know, facilitated by the Secret Service? Was this some sort of inside information? That to me seems logical. It's possible, but I still don't think so. But it's possible because it seems like they did not do their job properly, really. They did their job properly once he'd been shot at. But before that, how was that boy even allowed to get on that roof and aim and take fire? You know, it just seems odd that the social, I keep calling them the social services, the Secret Services were not aware of that.
Speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight. And I'll get back to you if I do, okay?
Mr. President, do you think it was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough to, I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts.
Yeah, so at the time he didn't have all the facts available to him, and he was right to not comment, I suppose. Okay, so that was Joe's reaction, Joe Biden's reaction. I can put that down now. Now, I just want to come back and say thank you again to Gem in the Mud for becoming a member. Thank you. We'll welcome you properly in the Members Live. When we have the Members Live, we always sing you a little song and welcome you properly to that. Okay. Now then. Where are we going now? Oh, so I just want to show you something now about Donald Trump. Now, you know, I don't have strong feelings about Donald Trump, really. There are things I hate about him. You know, there are things that I don't like about his attitude. And then there are other things that I think, oh, yeah, it's true. Somebody mentioned in the chat, I think it was Chumba. He did, there were no wars while he was president. I do think he's only interested in America. He's not really interested in, you know, he seemed to do quite well with placating Putin and North Korea and China, etc. And, you know, that's like not a bad thing, really. Whereas when Joe Biden came in, of course, all these wars seemed to kick off. But of course, Joe Biden's got a lot of experience. He's probably kinder in other ways. So, you know, to me, as I say, I believe in governments of unity anyway. I don't think, you know, there's always some good things to be taken from one candidate and good things to be taken from another candidate. And why not work together? You know, it just seems perfectly acceptable to me. But of course, Donald Trump, he has been like quite aggressive, isn't he? So I found out. Do you remember? I don't know how close you follow politics or American politics, but Nancy Pelosi, who was the Speaker of the House in America, her husband was attacked in their home with a hammer and survived, you know, just about, you know, survived with his life. And this is what Donald Trump had to say about that. And he wasn't, you know, he wasn't very sympathetic, let's say.
And we'll stand up to crazy Nancy Pelosi, who ruined San Francisco.
So crazy Nancy Pelosi who ruined San Francisco. So Donald, you know what? He has his own sort of, he says these things. And not only him, Joe Biden also has done it. This is what I think needs to stop. All these politicians, they've got to stop being so aggressive in their language towards each other. You can still be someone's rival and still respect them. You can still say, oh, well, I don't, but you don't have to be insulting. You don't have to be, try and incite people to hatred. The thing is, Donald Trump has got such a strong fan base, and he's popular. You can't, you can slag off Donald Trump as much as you say, but a lot of people like him and vote for him, and you can't avoid that fact. But that's why he's got the responsibility. Hate in politics or anything else is not good.
How's her husband doing, by the way? Anybody know?
I mean, what sort of a comment is that? How's your husband doing, by the way? Anybody know? As if it's funny. So someone had taken a hammer to his head, I think. I think it was a hammer. They went into his home, attacked him, left him for dead. And Donald Trump thinks it's funny. Let's watch that again.
How's her husband doing, by the way? Anybody know?
How's your husband doing, by the way? Hilarious.
And she's against building a wall at our border, even though she has a wall around her house, which obviously didn't do a very good job.
I mean, what? For fuck's sake, Donald. So she's against building a wall around our border, even though she's got a wall around her house. Didn't do a very good job. So he's making fun of the fact that Nancy Pelosi's husband was left for dead. Now, Nancy Pelosi came on Twitter and very graciously said how awful it was that Donald had been attacked like that. And, she prayed for him getting better, and, there's no room for violence in our society. But when her husband was attacked, that's what he had to say. Let's just hear that again, because I think it's important to know that he is a twonk, Donald Trump. Whether you like him or you don't like him, he has said horrible things. Someone I know quite well reckons he's on cocaine or something, because the way he survived that, the way he just got straight up after that bloody assassination attempt, and just asked for his shoes and punched the air and said, fight, fight, fight. Is he on drugs or something? Probably. That's what keeps him going. Hang on, let me go.
San Francisco. How's her husband doing, by the way? Anybody know?
Disgusting.
And she's against building a wall at our border, even though she has a wall around her house, which obviously didn't do a very good job. And we'll stand up to crazy Nancy Pelosi, who ruined San Francisco. How's her husband doing, by the way? Anybody know?
How is that even funny?
And she's against building a wall at our border, even though she has a wall around her house, which obviously didn't do a very good job.
What a twat.
And we'll stand up to crazy Nancy Pelosi, who ruined San Francisco.
So I think you get the picture, don't you? I think you get the picture. I mean, that is just not on, is it? He's making jokes about her husband being left for dead. This is the whole problem. He's a politician. He was the president of the United States. If he made little private jokes like that with his friends or whatever, that's one thing. But going out and saying all that, I mean, come on. Anyway, so the other thing I wanted to look at are some assassination attempts as well, because, Joe Biden was on there saying, It's unheard of. It's not unheard of, Joe, is it? It's not unheard of in America, though, is it? Because it's just not, or anywhere. There's quite often assassination attempts on all sorts of people. There's been more assassination attempts than I care to remember. And in fact, when I started looking back on it all, there were ones that I couldn't even remember. Now, of course, the most famous assassination attempt ever in America, let me find it, was JFK. Very sad, very emotional. You know, when I watched that Donald Trump assassination attempt, and as much, you know, it doesn't matter whether you care about, you know, you agree with Donald Trump or you don't agree with him, just watching that and the fact that innocent people died who were just there watching his rally. You should be able to go to a political rally and not worry that someone's going to bloody shoot you. Of course, this is the most famous one. JFK. Still unsolved, you know, talk about conspiracy theories. I mean, you know, this is still nobody, you know, even though someone was arrested for the murder of JFK, and then, of course, they were shot as well. I mean, God, you could go down a right rabbit hole talking about JFK, and I'm not going into that rabbit hole. But let's have a look.
This month marks 60 years since the assassination of President.
60 years it's been since the assassination of JFK. My God.
And John F. Kennedy, and a powerful new documentary coming tomorrow to Paramount Plus brings light to revelations from the doctors who were in the ER that day. JFK, What the Doctors Saw, reveals new information that raises the question, was there more than a single shooter? Here's a preview.
Yeah, so they're still talking about, was there more than one shooter? I mean, this happened in Dallas, didn't it? These are the iconic photos of JFK in the back of the car with his wife, Jackie. 1 minute they were there just waving at everyone. Nobody goes in an open top car anymore, that's for sure. That's the end. That was the end of that, wasn't it? And then suddenly...
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Now, he was another one polarizing. A lot of people thought he was the best thing since sliced bread. You know, he made these very impassioned speeches. He was supposedly a ladies' man. There was rumors of him having an affair with Marilyn Monroe. Was he involved in her death? I mean, my God. There's conspiracy theory over conspiracy theory with JFK, and I sort of feel like this is where conspiracy theory started almost. You know, there was like, God, I could do a million videos about the different conspiracy theories connected with JFK. Oh, by the way, anyone who's interested in the tennis, Alcaraz is now 2 sets up. So I hope he wins. I really hope he wins, because then Spain won't mind so much when England win later. But yeah, I mean, I bet you all out there, you've all got your own theory about JFK. But the thought of Joe Biden saying it's unheard of, when, you know, America, there's so many presidents that have been either attempted assassinations or successful ones. Just a crazy thing for him to say.
It appears as though something has happened in the motorcade route. Something, I repeat, has happened in the motorcade route.
There has been an attempt, as perhaps you know now, on the life of President Kennedy.
We heard Kennedy had been shot and he was being brought to the emergency room at Parkland Hospital.
You just feel a flush coming over your body, and you think, my goodness, I'm about to take care of the President of the United States.
Yeah, could you imagine that if you're a doctor and they rush in the president or the prime minister, or same with Lady Diana, Princess Diana, you know, the responsibility, and you just know whatever you do, if you don't manage to save them, it's going to be a nightmare. So there's lots of conspiracy theories about what happened when he got to the hospital. That people say his brain disappeared. Did he have one shot? Did he have two shots? We'll never know. We will never know. Maybe one day when we pass on to the next planets or the next plane or the next level, maybe we'll find out then exactly what happened to JFK and who was responsible for it. But again, it's one of those, like Princess Diana, it's one of those enduring mysteries that people will always say there's more to it.
Within minutes of seeing President Kennedy, doctors at Parkland concluded that the neck wound was an entrance wound and the head wound was an exit wound.
The fatal wound came from the front, I think, and other people believe that too.
We thought that there was an entrance wound in the neck and an exit wound in the back of the head.
Parkland Hospital doctors were quoted as saying they thought at least one bullet entered Mr. Kennedy's neck from the front.
The Parkland doctors were a serious problem for the U.S. government because they had provided evidence that there was a shooter somewhere in the front, and that ran totally contrary to the official narrative of a lone shooter from above and behind.
A lot of people just decided to keep their mouth shut, including the Parkland doctors.
What actually happened in Trauma Room 1 never came out, never became public. I was there. I know what I saw.
I was there. I remember it in detail. It's etched in my memory forever.
In all probability, there was a conspiracy, i.e., there was more than one shooter.
The Parkland doctors told the truth. These doctors are about as trustworthy as you can get.
Will people feel that they have a better understanding of what actually happened? Absolutely.
Well, I think whatever you think about that, it was a terrible occurrence. That was, again, in the history of America, that was one of those iconic moments. And everyone's got their theories about JFK. Nobody knows exactly what happened. And, you know, if you're a bit younger, people have, well, even my age, to be honest, you're looking about 60 years when it happened. You may not know anything about it. You know, Google it, look at it, because if you're interested in conspiracy theories and interested in, you know, what, you will find that interesting. Definitely the story of JFK. And it's very sad because he, you know, well, he was a youngish man as well. You know, he was shot right there in front of his wife. He had children, young. I mean, if you watch the footage of his funeral, it's absolutely heartbreaking, his children going to the funeral. So for Joe Biden to say it's unheard of, that's another reason why it's not unheard of. And then yet another reason, High Stone, another reason that it's not unheard of was, of course, Ronald Reagan. So Ronald Reagan was a president who did not get assassinated, but he was an attempted assassination. So let's have a look at this. So this was in 1981 in Washington, D.C. Ronald Reagan was shot at, and he survived.
Hotel.
There's Hinckley over my right shoulder. That's me.
Shelley Fieldman may well have saved John.
Wallace, who captured it all.
Yeah, Bruce Leshan spoke with Shelley Fieldman in this report in 2011.
Began as the scene as the president emerged from the Washington Hilton Hotel.
There's Hinckley over my right.
So they got Ronald Reagan, who was the president at the time. This was at the time of Thatcher, wasn't it? Him and Thatcher, Mrs. Thatcher, they were really good mates. They were like, you know, bosom buddies, really, in lockstep with each other. And Ronald Reagan there, he was pushed into his car, and a Secret Service guy actually took a bullet for him and ended up with serious brain injuries. So, you know, again, it's not true for Joe Biden to say it's unheard of. It is by no means unheard of.
Shoulder. That's me.
Shelley Fieldman may well have saved John Hinckley's life.
He was right.
So John Hinckley, I think he was 25. So another quite young guy decided he wanted to kill the president for whatever reason.
Right next to me.
After the Secret Service shoved President Reagan into the limo, Fielman stepped out of the crowd, widened out, and panned right.
By instincts, I pulled that lens apart to make it as wide as I could. And there you see 2 hands holding the gun.
What he didn't know at that instant was that an agent was just about to fire.
When I took that one step out, he was ready to blow him away. And I stepped out in the line of fire.
Fielman had a brand new sound man with him, and he told him they'd get the president coming and going, and then go get some Mexican food.
You know, the only thing I could think of at that particular time was stay on the president.
Minutes later, he handed his tape to a courier and turned to his partner.
My leg was jumping, and he said he was never going to come. I said, we did get that, didn't we? And he said, well, I believe so.
Fielman won an Emmy and a White House Press Photographers Award. And after the president got out of the hospital, he had a chance to talk to him.
I said,
now, for those of you who don't remember Ronald Reagan or you don't know anything about him, a lot of people think, don't they, that these politicians are actors and it's all, it's all staged, it's all a show. Ronald Reagan really was an actor. He was a famous actor who became a president. And, so there'll be, I'm sure there's loads of conspiracy theories for that it was staged or whatever, maybe it was. I don't know. We'll never know. But it happened. Some poor guy resulted in brain injuries. I don't know what happened to the shooter in the end. I presume he went to prison. Maybe he's still in prison.
good to see you standing, Mr. President. And he looked at me and he said, it's good to be standing now, face the camera, because I was turned towards him.
Here you are, a photographer. You should have known better.
I should have.
Yeah, a moment they could later laugh about. Shelley Fieldman passed away in 2017 at the age of 80.
Made history along the way. Before Reagan, there was another assassination attempt in our backyard. In 1972, George Wallace, campaigning for the presidency, was shot 4 times after a campaign speech at the Laurel Shopping Center in Prince George.
Oh, God, there's another one. I didn't even know about this one.
Georges County. He was hit in the chest and the stomach and paralyzed from that incident. Like today's shooting, that campaign stop was outdoors. Wallace won primaries in Maryland and Michigan, but the shooting effectively ended his campaign.
Yeah, so it's very dangerous being a presidential, either being a president or being a presidential candidate in America, because of course, I mean, it's dangerous. Politicians have been murdered in the UK, and I'm sure they have in other countries, but it's especially dangerous, isn't it, in America, just for the fact of guns, of the gun laws. Now, the gun laws aren't going to change because of this attack on Donald. Because Donald Trump is pro-gun anyway. He's not going to turn around and call for the end, to stopping people having guns or whatever. Donald's not going to call for that. He believes in guns, and you can't get away from the thing of the Second Amendment. Every man. Well, because I don't know if they've changed it to every man or woman, but every man has a right to bear arms. That's never going to change. Honest to God, they'll talk about it a little bit this time, probably not that much, because it's normally the Republicans who don't want the gun laws to change. So it's a Republican that's been shot. So how are they going to turn around and say, oh yeah, let's get rid of guns? They're pro-guns. Donald Trump is pro-guns, so that's not going to happen. I don't think anything's going to change. I don't think it's ever going to change. It's never changed. This is an argument they've been doing right through my lifetime. I expect you go through another 60 years, there won't be any change. It's just never going to change. So it's pointless thinking. It's almost a pointless argument, really. Okay, and then that led me to look at other assassination attempts. And look at this one. Don't know if you remember this. I'd forgotten about it. The Queen, our Queen, the Queen. I don't mean Camilla. She's not the Queen, not my Queen anyway. I'm talking about the Queen. When she was shot at as she was trooping the colour. So let's have a look at that. Oops.
Of all the horses the Queen has ridden, there's one that won't be forgotten. Burmese, a gift from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police Force.
Majesty the Queen on Burmese, 19-year-old horse, carried her on all the birthday parades since 1969.
Burmese's biggest test came during trooping the colour in 1981, when 6 gunshots were fired at the Queen from the crowd.
It happened just before 11 as the Queen moved towards Horse Guards Parade for the start of trooping the colour.
But, you know, whenever I hear those sounds, honestly, I've got the biggest chill has gone up me. You know, it's the same when I was watching Donald, and I don't even really like Donald Trump, but the feeling, the chill that goes down you. And when those gunshots came, it is like a popping sound, isn't it? That's quite often how people describe gunshots. It's not like you would think. It's not like a blast, is it? I don't know. I'd always assume a gunshot would be like a blast. But it's not. It's like pop, pop, pop. It's a very different sound from what you would think. And then, of course, let's just go back a little bit. So the Queen, her horses startled. Of course, the Queen was an expert horse rider. And look how calm she is. And you know me, I'm not a royalist. By any means, I'm a Republican. But I have a lot of respect for the Queen, not Camilla. I have no respect for Camilla. But I have a lot of respect for the Queen. And just the way she handled herself, you know, was brave.
Six shots were fired. The Queen's horse, Burmese, was startled, but the Queen controlled him. A guardsman grappled with a man, helped by onlookers, as police rushed in from all directions to make an arrest.
Astonishingly, the Queen and Burmese continued the parade as though nothing had happened.
Oh.
After many years' service to the Queen, Burmese retired to Windsor Castle, where she's now buried. A rare privilege.
Oh, so she's buried at Windsor Castle, the horse Burmese. And, you know, I'm getting all emotional now because, as you know, I'm not a royalist, but those kind of things, like, you've got to say the Queen, she had cojones, didn't she? She had balls, you know, to go. I mean, when someone tries to shoot you, you know, it's pretty scary, isn't it? And then another incident, which involved Prince Charles. So they've all been popping up on Twitter because, you know, presumably just because of assassination, Donald Trump's assassination attempt. So then it popped up another time when Prince Charles was shot at as well. Let's have a look at that. Is that one? I think it's this. Yeah, he was in Sydney in 1994.
Those who grabbed him.
The actual Prime Minister grabbed him as well.
The Australia Day celebration continued afterwards. The Prince unhurt, and he made no comment on the incident.
And he just pushed Charles out of the way. Charles never skipped a beat, to be fair. He just sort of was just like, oh, what's going on? You know, maybe I shouldn't laugh at him, but of course, remember, he was okay. He was okay. Everything was fine. So, you know, but gosh, you know, when you look, and as someone said in the chat there, I think it was Charlie, then of course the Pope John Paul, he was shot in his Pope mobile, wasn't he? At least there was another Kennedy shot and killed. You know, it's just endless, really. So the thing is, for Joe Biden say it's unheard of. It's not unheard of, Joe. You know, keep up. Okay, so let's just have a look at Trump's shooting again. We'll look at it and what we know so far about the guy. So the guy, which is a young lad of 20, he was up here on, let me just put that down. So he's been named as Thomas Matthew Crooks, and we do have a photo of him. There's a lot of false photos floating around on social media, so be careful. But he has been, let's see, have we got, I mean, these are such dramatic photos of Trump with blood, etc. You know, very dramatic photos, and they'll be remembered like for years and years, won't they? You know, this is history. It's definitely history. So apparently law enforcement says he's 20 years old and he's from Bethel Park in Pennsylvania, which is a predominantly white, relatively well-to-do city in the southern part of Greater Pittsburgh. And the site of the Raleigh Butler is about an hour's drive north of Pittsburgh. And the Pennsylvania voter records, according to Sky's partner NBC News, listed a Thomas Matthew Crooks with the same address and birth rate as a registered Republican, though it's not clear when the record was from. Not much is known about his life, but he's believed to have won a National Maths and Science Initiative Star Award worth $500 on graduating by Bethel Park High School in 2022. He also appeared to wear merchandise promoting one of YouTube's most popular channels devoted to firearms during the attack. He was wearing a grey t-shirt with an American flag on the sleeve and block lettering that was partially obscured in photos from the scene. So let's just watch this one more time.
What happened?
Now, I know some people think it's fake or whatever. I think Trump, he's genuinely startled. In my opinion, that's the feeling I get. I don't think it's staged at all. I think he's genuinely shocked when this happened. But you've all got your own opinions.
Move his spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Move it to the spare. Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready. We ready? Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move?
Shooters down.
We're clear. Let's move. Let's move. We're clear. Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes, sir. Hold on, your head is bloody. So we gotta move to the class. Let me get my shoes. Okay, watch out. Wait.
So they're all shouting USA, USA, but you know, it's not really to be proud of the USA that your ex-president's just been nearly assassinated. But anyway, Trump will turn this to his advantage. He will be like a martyr now. I mean, he was popular before, but maybe some people, right, people are saying a lot of different things about this. So the advantage for Trump is that people that maybe were on the fence about him might now be thinking, oh yeah, you know, poor guy survived assassination attempt, he's been convicted wrongly, you know, blah, de, blah, de, blah, de, blah. And of course, thinking about Joe Biden not being, you know, the person he was. But of course, the other thing that's happened is this has taken focus off Joe Biden, hasn't it? So there's been so much focus on Joe Biden, especially after the NATO meeting where he referred to President Zelensky as President Putin, and he referred to Kamala Harris as Vice President Trump. So this has stopped all that, hasn't it? So nobody's talking about Joe Biden's gaffes anymore. So they're all talking about Donald Trump. So, you know, some people are saying it was Joe Biden that organized this because for that very reason. But who knows? Who knows? So there. Now, just let me have a little look across. I think that's all I've got to show you about Donald Trump. We're going to go on and talk about Jay Slater. You know, what's happened or what's happening. Oh. Now, yeah, I think we're ready to talk about Jay Slater now. Okay, so if you don't want to hear anymore, if you don't want to hear about Jay Slater, now's the time to go, because this is where I'm going to start talking about Jay Slater. Now, where do I start with this? So I noticed your comment, Heather, right at the beginning. Jay Slater, his phone's been found. His phone hasn't been found. He's not been found. You know, I don't know who that reputable YouTuber is that you're talking about. Feel free to name them, but it's not reputable because it's just not true. Not yet anyway. It's not been confirmed. There's been nothing. And in fact, on YouTube, sorry, not YouTube, on Facebook, hi blank faces, on Facebook, on the only official group, Jay's mum's friend, or this Hargel Rach, she said no phone of Jay's has been found. This is false information. Please only listen to information from myself or Debbie. Now, you know, I agree with that. This ridiculous social media, things that are, and not only social media, things that are in the mainstream media, rags like the Sun and the Daily Mail, and things that Mark Williams Thomas has said, they're not true. It is not true. As far as we know, nothing has been confirmed officially. And in fact, the family themselves are saying no phone of Jay's has been found. So we've got to listen to them. They are the family at the end of the day. There's some very distressing photos going around of a young man who looks like he's been hurt and he's got bloody dog collar on and God knows what, but there's no proof that that is Jay either. It's just horrible, all those things, I personally think. Let's have a look. So let's have a look at the official updates on Jay Slater. And the first thing I want to look at is the GoFundMe, because we've had an update from Jay's mum. So the only people I want to listen to that are talking about Jay Slater is either his family or the police. That's it. If it doesn't come from his family or the police, as far as I'm concerned, it's a load of rubbish. So until it's proven otherwise, until it's said otherwise, because it's official, I'm not, you know, and I might discuss it, but I would then say it's rubbish. So, you know, as I say, I don't know who that official YouTube or reputable YouTube channel is you're talking about, but they're not that reputable if they're talking about the phone being found, and actually it hasn't been found. So let's have a look at the GoFundMe, because as I say, Debbie, Jay's mum, has put an update. It's sort of stayed a little bit, the GoFundMe. It doesn't seem to have gone up much recently, though. It says 28 people have just made a donation. But the update, of course, is it says by Lucy May, not by the mum. Jay's family would like to thank you for all your continued support at this difficult time. Almost 4 weeks on and we're still no further in finding our beautiful boy. He was only 4 days into his holiday and his disappearance still remains a mystery. We are still here in Tenerife searching daily with the help of volunteers and local hiking groups. Paul Arnott, we're going to look at some of his videos. I've got quite fond of Paul in a silly way, you know, I quite like his videos. He's still working tirelessly, which we're so grateful for, and send him so much love and respect. As you know, the Guardia Civil gave up the land search after 12 days. We have been actively working with search and rescue teams, and we can now confirm we have a team of experts flying in over the weekend from the Netherlands who will carry on the search with their specialist dogs. We are only able to fund this with the generosity of those who donated. The team are the Signai Zoekondon. These are like the Dutch SGI, except they're a non-profit company and they actually know what they're doing. And this has taken lots of planning to get them over, so thank you so much for your kindness. Jay is just a normal, hard-working young lad from Lancashire who is very loved by all who know him. He's about to finish his 3-year apprenticeship this month. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional. So they've had so much bad press, this family. You know, all these horrible things that people are saying about them and about him. You know, we don't know that those things are true. We should not listen to these horrible rumours on social media. We shouldn't, until they're proven correct. Although we don't have any answers to his disappearance, we obviously have to remain positive. You just have to imagine if it was your son, your nephew, your grandson, you know, how would you feel? Please continue to pray for him and our family. There's a lot of negativity, unfortunately, and this is adding to the heartbreak of the unknown. So I would please just say, send love and positive thoughts to Jay, our beautiful son. Anyway, don't know about anybody else, but I am sending my love and positive thoughts to Jay and to the family. I believe this family. I don't think there is anything untoward about them. Anyway, so had a look obviously at the search team that they've booked. Let's have a look. This is their website, info@zoekondon.com. And they have it in English, so I've put it in. You can, you know, they have all different languages there. So they're supposedly a non-profit organization. The foundation is regularly called in when cases of missing persons occur, both by private individuals and agencies and governments. So Sydney Search Dogs is a non-profit foundation that aims to locate missing people with the help of search dogs, in combination with a driven and skilled team for missing people in the water. You should have got them in for Nicola Bulley instead of SGI. They should have got somebody better in. In disasters, for complex missing persons and in cold cases. Sydney Search Dogs specialises in searching with dogs for drowned persons, following a trail, man-trailing and missing persons in disaster areas. Sydney Search Dogs focuses on one thing in its work, finding missing people and ending the uncertainty that affects those left behind in missing persons cases. So you can donate to them. You can sponsor clicks. There's all sorts of different things you can do. Anyway, they do. Let's see what they've got. They don't mention Jay on here, I don't think. No, it's just telling you what to do, guidance, how to act properly in the event of a missing person. So yeah, go on their website, have a look. God, I hope they manage to find Jay. I honestly just pray that they managed to find him. Now, I found a couple of other things, if you like, that they talk about, you know, what they'd done. Where is it? Yes, they went out to a Moroccan earthquake zone. Dutch search dog team flies out to Morocco earthquake zone. So they were helping get bodies out of the earthquake, out of the remains of the earthquake. A Dutch search dog team is heading out to Morocco. Don't know when this was. I don't remember this earthquake in Morocco. September the 13th last year. I don't remember it. And they were flying out to help with the rescue and recovery operation following a big earthquake in Morocco. And they sent a 6-person team with 3 Belgian shepherds and a Labrador to search the rubble. So they're doing vital work there because, you know, it's very difficult, isn't it, to find people that may still be alive in the rubble. Do you know, dogs are bloody brilliant, aren't they? You just cannot underestimate how dogs are, how useful they are for people. So we were ready to go soon after the earthquake, but were unable to make contact with the Moroccan government. In the end, we were able to make contact with local people in the area. I think that's quite a typical thing. It's so hard to get through to the government sometimes, go through the official channels. You know, they can't just rock up there. They've got to have permission. Because I don't know how that will work with Spain, because of course the Netherlands and Spain are part of the European Union, so I don't know if it was easier to go over to Tenerife or not. I don't know. Anyway, but I don't even remember this earthquake. It just shows you not everything reaches the news, does it? Nearly 3,000 people were confirmed dead in the wake of the earthquake, measuring 6.8 on the Richter scale, which struck the Marrakech region just after 11 p.m. And then an aftershock measuring 4.9 shook the area again 20 minutes later. And local residents and international aid agencies expressed their frustration that Morocco only asked for help from a small number of nations, including Spain, Israel, why Israel, and the UK. So I think we can gather from what we know about this search team, you know, without knowing loads about them. We know a little bit about them. This is their, so that was their website. This is their Facebook page, which of course is in Dutch. Oh, look at that. These dogs, they're beautiful. Anyway, it doesn't mention that they're going out. You know, it doesn't mention that they're going out to Tenerife. Maybe they're not so self-serving as Peter. God, if Peter Folding was going out there with the SGI, it'd be all over his Facebook, his Twitter, everything. Anyway, they're going. They're going, and let's hope they can find something. It can't hurt, can it? Having some expert teams go out looking for Jay, and we'll see if they have any luck finding him. So something else that's been doing the rounds, you know, in the usual social media rubbish that goes on is this photo. So this is a photo that's been doing the social media rounds, supposed to be this guy taking a picture or whatever, and this is supposed to be Jay in the background. But again, I think that's just another load of rubbish, to be honest. It's not been proven that it's Jay. Looks like Jay, but you know what? A lot of young lads probably look like Jay. So I just wanted to show it you because you may see it. You know, people may be talking about it on reputable YouTube channels and saying, oh, it's definitely Jay. Jay's been found. You know, I've had emails saying that. Jay's been found. He's alive. He's here. He's there. He's doing that. You won't believe the emails that I get. I don't believe any of it until, as I say, it's confirmed either officially or by the family. Just don't believe anything else except official things. Okay, what else am I going to tell you about? So the big news is really these Dutch search teams going over. And now I'm going to have a look at Paul Arnott Slater's videos, which, you know, I know a lot of you don't like Paul or whatever, but I like his videos because I found them useful. And he's released a few. I only look at what he does on Facebook, and he made me laugh. This one did make me laugh because where are we? He said, let me go back. Oh, where's it gone? He was up in the middle of the night and he said it was so noisy in the village. Well, you know, welcome to Spain, because, you know, where it's like, you know, from watching my videos, how noisy it can be in Spain. Anyway, I can't see that. Maybe he's taken that off. Let's have a look at this. So let's have a look at his latest videos.
Today is actually my last day in Masca for about a week. If you guys remember, Pedro did say that I could stay here for as long as I wanted. However, he has changed his mind and that is no longer possible. I am having to leave here, guys.
Yeah, I wonder why Pedro has asked him to leave. But anyway, probably because he has to keep going out looking for him because he keeps disappearing.
So I've got another place in another town not too far away where I'll be moving to tomorrow. So yeah, so much to sort out. I'll be out searching for most of the day or all the morning into the early afternoon. And then I'll need to wash all my clothes, clear this place up, work out how I'm going to get there. Actually work out where I'm going to as well. I know like the area that I'm going to, but I have no idea whereabouts in this area this place is, guys. But yeah, I'm going to be there for about a week, and then it'll be on to the next place where I'm staying. So yeah, that's the plan. Anyway, I'm going to have a shower. I'm going to wake up and I'll keep you updated with all the searching and everything. Also, guys, I'm going to be wearing my GoPro when I'm out searching from now on. And I'm just going to keep it switched on and then upload the full videos of the entire search onto YouTube. So if you guys want to see the actual search and stuff like that, just head over to my YouTube or type in Down the Rapids Official and you'll find it, guys. But big love. See you soon.
Okay, so that's one. Now, he didn't do any videos yesterday, and then today seems to have done loads. But anyway, so let's have a little look at him. So that was his first one. Well, there was another one where he was whinging about the noise in Masca in the middle of the night. But I just looked down, but I can't find that. He must have taken that off. Oh, or is this it? Oh, midnight disturbance in the village. Yeah, it just reminded me of my village.
It's absolutely silent. Yeah, I've been woken up, guys. I'm not sure what's going on over there, but something has definitely disturbed the goats, which has set off all the dogs in the area. It's just so loud, so loud. It's that loud. It's actually woken me up and got me out of bed. Not quite sure what it is. Now, I have been walking around myself at strange times, sometimes at like 1 a.m. in the morning, sometimes 2 a.m., but I try not to do it because this is what happens. It literally wakes up the entire village. So noisy, guys. I do genuinely wonder what has set off all the animals this morning. Anyway.
Maybe that's why Pedro wants him to move out. It's probably him waking them all up every night.
It's 2:30. I'll catch up with you guys in the morning. Early start tomorrow. Big love. So it's 2:30 in the morning.
It did make me laugh, that, because I thought, yeah, that's Spain. Okay, let's have a look. I'm going to go a bit. He's done quite a lot of videos today. So let's have a look at this. Oh, that's a photo. That's a photo. Looks creepy, doesn't it? Of course, when Jay was walking, if he was walking at 8 o'clock or whatever, it would have been light. It wouldn't have been dark. You know, it's 6 a.m. it's dark, but by 8 o'clock, it's not.
Many cars
7.
have actually gone past me. So many cars, it's crazy. In fact, so guys, I just want to say that it's 6 a.m. Also bear in mind that right now it's a Sunday morning and so many cars have actually gone past me. So many cars, it's crazy. In fact, there's another one coming up behind me now. I'm just going to stand to the side. But it's absolutely crazy, guys. Sunday morning, so many people about.
Absolutely crazy, guys. Well, the thing is, it's Sunday morning, it's weekend. The hikers, they'll all be getting out early to hike before it gets too hot. So, you know, some people will be going home from, there'll be a combination of people. The people going home from a night out, maybe. The 6 o'clock is about the time that Spanish people finish their night out. And then you get the next lot of people, the early birds coming out to do the hikes and whatever. So I'm not surprised there's a lot of cars, to be honest.
If I had to guess right now, I'd say that since I started, you can even see cars down here. Well, I don't know if the camera's really picking it up, but there are cars down here. Since I started, guys, in the last sort of 40 minutes, at least 6 or 7 cars have come past me. So keep that in mind. Early morning, Sunday morning, so many people about, guys.
Yeah, so
there's another one coming up behind me now.
For Jay,
so guys,
it was Monday morning, wasn't it, when Jay was supposedly
gonna...
walking up there? So let's have a look at this one.
Does this Airbnb have a doorbell on it, guys? And I don't think it does.
Okay, so this was the other thing, that because that Ajub is his name, the guy that supposedly Jay went to stay with at the Airbnb, the one that we know who he is. He supposedly said that the buzzer, somebody at the neighbours buzzed the door, and Jay said, "What's that annoying noise?" or whatever. And it was the doorbell, and it was that couple asking him to move the car. So Paul's going now to see if there is a doorbell.
But we'll go up to it and I'll show you. I'm not sure why everybody's asking this or what relevance there is, but we'll have a look.
Why, you fool.
Just round here. There's a lot of cars parked up. A lot of cars. Not normally this many cars. That's just a light switch. It's a light switch for that.
Now, I just want to say about doorbells in Spain, they're normally, I don't know what that is there. That could be a doorbell, to be honest. That's not a doorbell. But the doorbells in Spain, they're normally like, how can I explain? They're not round. They're like sort of square like this, and they have just like oh God, I don't know how to explain it. Let's see if I can show you how that, because Spanish doorbell. They're different from British doorbells, let's put it that way. They look a bit more like an electric switch. Spanish doorbell. Let's see. I'm looking for an image of what I want to show you. Yeah, they're bit. This is what let me show you. This is what they tend to look like. You know, like they don't necessarily have a bell on them. They just look like a light switch. They don't look like a doorbell. I've got two doorbells. I've got one at the sort of at my gate and then one at my front door. And they look like this, but without the bell on them. They're just white, maybe a bit more square than that. So, you know, we'll see what he comes up with. Is he looking for the right kind of doorbell? They're not. That could be a doorbell. I'm not sure what that is, but that's a possibility, I think. This here is possibly a doorbell. It's that green door again. Shaking Stevens
Just to
will come
clarify,
out in a
guys.
minute.
Just to clarify. So everybody keeps asking,
Oh, hang on.
does this
They didn't go to the green door. The green door, the doorbell might well be there.
have a doorbell on it, guys? And I don't think it does. But we'll go up to it and I'll show you. I'm not sure why everybody's asking this or what relevance there is, but we'll have a look. Just round here. There's a lot of cars parked up. A lot of cars. Not normally this many cars. That's just a light switch.
I personally would say that black, that could easily be a doorbell out there. But also, when he comes away from there, he doesn't
Just
go.
to clarify, guys. Just to
Turn
clarify.
around. The doorbell could be at this other door here, the garage door. You know, there could be a doorbell here. You know, I'd like to have a look proper.
So everybody keeps asking, does this Airbnb?
Anyway, without being able to go there myself, I'd love to go there myself, to be honest, and have a proper look.
I'm just about to leave mine. I've got everything packed. I've got loads of water and I've got some snacks as well. I'm really, really tired. But apart from that, guys, I feel like it's going to be really, really productive. Now, I know things on social media from everyone has been super, super quiet and just news in general. But what I do want to say, guys, is progress is being made. And I'm not just saying that. There's a lot of things that we're keeping off social media, stuff that just does not need to be in the public eye unless you're out here searching. And it really just is not important. But I do want to let everybody know that progress is being made 100%. So please don't think anything different, guys. Right now, I'm still focusing on that first section, but I do feel that soon, guys, especially after speaking with the family and other things, it's going to be time to perhaps move on to another section. Possibly, guys, we'll see what happens. We'll see who gets involved. It is really good. Again, we don't need to talk about too much unless you're out here searching, guys. But more people are getting involved now, which is just absolutely fantastic. So. That's what we want to see. But I'll catch up with you guys soon. Big love. So it's 5:30 in the morning.
So that Netherlands, he's obviously talked about that Netherlands search group. They'll probably end up having to find him, won't they?
Last phone signal pinged from, or from where the last 3 what words signal came from. And it is still dark. You can just make out the ridges on the mountain. It's super, super dry like always. Dense bushes. And what I want to say, guys, is, for example, if you were to slip down or slide down, even just like a place like this, there's a very good chance that the imprint imprint that you may leave will be no much bigger than something like this. That's if you're lucky. You know, it's all good that we are tracking footprints, or at the start when it was a lot more obvious, breakages in the foliage, and footprints and a few other different things. Although that's really, really useful at the start, it's not always that useful now. However, there are some places which we will be investigating today, where those signs possibly still will be, because they're just untouched by people. So it really does depend, guys. It really does depend. But just to put this into context, the phone signal tower is up round the bend. There's a huge tunnel here. Now, a lot of people always go on about this tunnel. Has it been checked? It's been checked by 1 million people, guys. And all it's to do, it's just to help with the water flow on the mountain. It's part of the water drainage system. Here it is here. But yeah, it's been checked many times. And I can hear dogs. Starting to get a little bit lighter now, guys, slowly.
Well, do you know, it doesn't get light slowly in Spain. 1 minute it's dark, the next minute it's light. And the same when it goes dark, it's like suddenly you look and you think, oh, it's starting to go dark. Next minute it's pitch black. Very quick, the nightfall and the sunrise. In mainland Spain. It may not be the same in Tenerife. I have to remember it's quite a long way away from where I am. But yeah, maybe that was a key safe thing. I don't know. I'd like to go and look at myself, but it does seem strange, you know, that Ayub, or he said the doorbell went, and he actually said, Jay said, oh, what's that annoying noise? You know, he gave too much detail, didn't he? But we'll find out one day what really happened. God knows when, but we will. Okay, let's have a look at. See, he's done loads of videos today. And yeah, somebody was saying, I think it was Moonbeam, there is another TikToker, and I want to look at his videos as well. I just haven't got time in this video.
In Mascot, or just outside of Mascot. Jay's phone last ping from up here, but just here, guys, you can see a cloud inversion. So for those of you who aren't into your mountaineering or hiking, a cloud inversion is where you are actually above the cloud. So normally you look up and you can see the clouds. Obviously right now we're looking down and we can see the clouds, and we will be heading down there. There's a few bits we need to do down there, and I'm going to stick the GoPro on, guys.
This is where Jay went. I'm 100% certain Jay went down here and thought, there's the beach, there's the sea, I'm going this way. And then he just went too far, the wrong way. That's still my hypothesis. But I'd be glad to be proved wrong. I hope Jay's alive somewhere.
And film the whole thing, but there's a body of water that needs a thorough check. So that's one of the reasons why we'll be heading down there. But just want to show you again, if you guys haven't seen how vast the terrain is in this section, like all the different sections, you can see, guys, there's the clouds.
Yeah, it feels like now these guys are coming out from the Netherlands with the dogs and everything. Just feel like maybe he's going to get seen. And just for those of you that are interested in the tennis, Alcaraz is 2 sets up. And it's 6 games each, and they're on, what do we call it? Can't remember what they call it. They're doing like a tie break. So he could literally win 3-0. I hope so. And then, yeah, Spanish people won't mind so much losing the football. I can't believe there's still bloody 2.5 hours to go. Right, let's look at this.
Really looks like round here is absolutely insane. Check this out, guys.
God,
it's absolutely crazy. When people are out here, including myself, saying it's a vast area, please understand it's a vast area. It is absolutely huge. You can see, guys, we're just surrounded by rock. Rocks are constantly falling around you as well. Every time you're walking down here, guys, every sort of like 10-15 minutes you can hear big rocks falling. You have to stay as far away from the edges as possible. but lots of bushes, lots of ditches.
God.
Very much.
Why do people go there for pleasure? I mean, literally, why?
Like this all the way around, guys.
God, there's lots of little caves, aren't there? And you know, it's just. I have enjoyed Paul's
So,
videos.
guys, just to give you an idea.
I have enjoyed Paul's videos. They do give us a good idea of the terrain, whatever else we think of him.
And you have no idea where you are going to get lost. There's no question about it. For example, the decision to take a left here and to take a right here literally means hours and hours and hours and hours extra of work. And to be honest, if you're not used to it, everywhere looks the same now. Obviously, I've been up and down these areas multiple times, guys, and I really am used to the environment now. I can tell which ways to go. I can tell by different ridges. I mean, just areas like this, it doesn't look, it just looks really familiar to me, guys. So I have a good understanding of where to go. But you can see why it's so easy to get lost. So easy. Let me just do a panoramic again. You can see the huge rocks. Absolutely everything, guys. Still pretty misty in here as well, which is surprising. It did clear up earlier. But it seems to have come back. But yeah.
Gosh.
Crazy environment.
I mean, it is.
So these are the areas, guys.
Crazy environment, guys. That's just a photo. Yeah. That's it for now from him. So I do feel, let's hope, within the next couple of days we might get some news, and you know, I think he'll be found, but we'll see. Oh, bye, Claire. I didn't even get a chance to say hello to you and you've gone. Okay. Oh, Mello's just arrived, but I'm just about finishing off now. Well, Stone, the general narrative, it depends who you're listening to. There's so many general narrative, you know, there's conspiracy theories, there's theories that he's been kidnapped, he's gone off on a boat somewhere, he's hiding, it's just a ploy to get the GoFundMe money, you know, you name it, there's theories. So, you know, pick your theory and make your decision. Personally, I think he got lost, and I think they're going to find that poor boy up there in the mountains somewhere. And hopefully this search team that they're bringing from the Netherlands will find him, because he deserves to be found. And his family deserve the resolution of finding him, even though it won't be good. You know, it's not nice to think that he's deceased, is it? But I think he likely is. Okay, that's it. I'm going off. I'm going to have a little sleep. Oh, Alcaraz has won. Alcaraz has won the Wimbledon 3-0. God, brilliant. I'm so happy that he's won, where he can take, the Spanish can take that victory and feel good, because they're not going to win the football, because England are going to win the football. Come on, England. I just can't wait. But still, what is it? Two and a half hours to go, more or less. I'm going to go and have a little nap, and then I will be watching I'll be eating my cottage pie and watching the England match. And I am actually looking forward to it. I don't really feel that nervous. Whatever happens, it'll be good. But I think we're going to win 3-1. That's my prediction. 3-1 for England to win. And thank you for being here with me. Now, yeah, don't forget to leave your fingerprint on the like button. Leave your DNA on the like button. Prayers for Jay. I think I've got a little banner actually saying that somewhere. Let's have a look. prayers for Jay. I don't feel that Jay's going to be found alive, but I do feel that he's going to be found maybe soon. And yeah, when I see you again, hopefully England will be European champions. I can always live in hope, can't I? I can always live in hope. So don't forget to like, consider becoming a member. I just want to say thank you. Sorry, I want to put the thank you to Jem, who became a member during this. Thank you so much. Thank you to all you members out there. Consider becoming a member if you enjoy my content, and then you get 2 extra lives Tuesday and Thursday if you become a member. So what am I doing now? I'm going to put on the video for a little minute. Wasn't quite ready to put that on. So remember to live and love wisely, carefully, and as always, I'll see you in the next video, and until then, may your God always go with you. Come on, England.